Cool. Right, so I haven't done a stream in a while, but I thought I'd do it today because why not? Stop moving the camera. So I'm just doing some bits and bobs to my Wargamers Anonymous November challenge. So these are the chaps in front of me that I've done. They're all painted now. I just need to finish the bases, and then I've moved on to shields. You can see that shield transfers. So that's if I can get all these bases browned up now, then I'll move on to shield transfers. If not, it might just be an hour of me painting brown bases. But that's fine. I don't really want that camera shaking so much. That doesn't matter. And also, I might not even have enough brown paint to do this, which is another problem. Didn't think about it. In fact, I definitely won't have enough brown paint to do my cavalry as well. But hey. Right. So there's no real patterns here, so it's just get paint on. Paint on and move on to the next mini. The amount of times I've done this. See, I guess the only downside with like individual basing is faff around doing every individual base. So I just the light box isn't in the best place to be honest. Chuck brown on him basically. That's what I've done. Can I get this light box any better? You know, maybe I come around here. Will make things better. Maybe. Can you now see him over there? No. It's cuz. There you go, see a bit better now. So let's chuck a load of brown on. Box any better? You know. Maybe I come around here. Cool. Let's just checking my audio is actually working because I've done that a few times. What I can do is close that. You can be closed as that. That, that, and that. Right. Just shutting stuff off my computer so my computer don't run like a potato. Actually, what I do need to do. You can shut, you can shut, you can shut, you can shut. Right. I'll just share this among the usual groups. If anyone's interested, come and watch. I can do that then. Shut that, I don't need it. Oh, all right, Millers. How are you? I did wonder if you'd be back today. Um, but yeah, I'm good. Hope you're all right, and hope you're having the start of a good weekend. I'm making the most of baby sleeping time, and trying to finish off my Wargamers Anonymous challenge. Which, yeah, it's in reaching distance really. The end of this challenge, which would be nice. Normally, I kind of wait till the end of the month to get it done, but I'm hoping I'm going to get this done nice and early. How did I get on the shield transfer the other night? I didn't do a lot, to be honest. I'll show you. I'll finish this guy and I'll quickly show you what I do. So, I just did a bit of the shield transfers whilst I put the sand down on these bases because I've kind of said to myself I want to get these guys all finished and based, and then do the shield transfers because I want to stick the shields on after they've been based. But so yeah, I got. That's gonna be one unit of my Hastati, so they kind of got all the odd shields. I've got a battle plan on what these shield transfers mean, and I'll explain it in a sec. And then this is another row for my Hastati for my Italian Legion. So the idea is the Hastati are going to be the inexperienced troops, so they're going to have the more uneven shields, you know, the odds and sods of shields. They're not important. I've got these shield transfers for my Triarii. Nice uniform, nice looking shield design. I've got these shield transfers for my Principes. Oh, can you let me know if the chat is working? So can you see what you're saying on the screen? Because I normally have it always set up and it never works. But yeah, so these are for my Principes, and then I've got another set of shield transfers for some more Hastati. So yeah, they do look really nice. But that's little big men for you. They're incredible transfers. I've probably spent, you know, almost as much money on transfers as I have the actual models, which is a bit heartbreaking. But personally, I think they're really worth it. And because I don't know, maybe because I've done a bit more of a basic paint job on them. Um, yeah, it's coming up. Oh, nice. Yeah, because I've done a bit more of a basic paint job. Um, it might just make the minis look a bit too basic if I hand painted the shields. Whereas having those shield transfers, it kind of takes away from the nice simple paint job. Yeah, I've been trying to get the chat on the screen because I've noticed like in my, if not that people really go sit back and watch people's streams. Well, I mean, I watch people's streams, but not my stream because not a lot goes on in them. But if someone were to, and I'm just talking to the chat, they don't really know what the chat's saying, so they can at least understand the conversation rather than me just go, "Oh yeah, good point," or whatever, and then they're like, "Well, what did the person in the chat say?" Yeah, I don't have to explain it. It all makes sense. Yeah, I really liked your ECW video, mate. I was really set on ECW quite a while, and then I don't know, I've just been slowly drawn to War of Roses. Um, so I've been drawn to War of Roses, and I was like, I'm thinking about doing War of Roses because I kind of think in my head, if I get the knights, they're just going to be mainly plate armor, which I can probably rattle through quite easily if I can just spray them silver and then wash them and pick out some details. I'd probably get some get some armies done quite quick. But it's just something about ECW. I really like the muskets. So I really like their powder pouches. Do you know, get those little like wooden toggle things? Something about that. I just think it looks really cool, and it'd be quite fun to paint. Some nice details on those miniatures. Is what I'm trying to say. Um, so yeah, I don't know. But then also ECW, I'm gonna have to go metal, which I don't mind metal. I just don't really like the expense of metal. So, agreed, but it wasn't cheap. Are you on about the shield transfers? Because no, the shield transfers aren't that. They're like, so it's £4 for that. 16 dudes. I mean, I did so I got 4 lots of these, so 4 times, yeah, 16, and then I bought some cavalry shields as well for my Republican Roman cavalry. Yeah, I spent about 20 quid plus like £2 postage. But then when you spend like just under 30 quid on these dudes, yeah, it makes it worth it though. Like, I did it all for my Greeks. I got a load of Greeks, but I got the Greeks for free, or I paid a tenner for them in the end. My mate didn't want anything, but I said I can't just take your models. And then I had to spend like 20 quid on transfers. I'm probably going to take a step away from miniature painting next month because I'm going to try build a board at home. I've been working on stuff like this, working on a tree. So yeah, I'm probably going to do another coat of flock on this just to thicken it up a bit. But I think as it is at the moment, the tree looks okay. So yeah, I want to try build a table because the idea was with lockdown ended and stuff, I was going to have some mates over and do not infamy, Saga, Age of Hannibal. Like my 2 mates have got a reasonable sized Carthage army, and then I've obviously got all my Republican Romans. So we're hoping to do well, what I'm gonna do is when we can meet up again, we're gonna do the Battle of Trebia. So we're kind of all looking to work towards building up and painting terrain and armies for that. And ideally, we're gonna maybe try follow the Second Punic War. I don't know if you know much about the ancients or the Punic Wars. So we're gonna try follow the Second Punic War and just try do all the key battles of that as we go through, which I think will be quite fun. So, yeah, so that's gonna be maybe next month is set on terrain. You know, I think we're all gonna chip in for a battle mat. I've got a brown fabric cloth which I was looking to spray up. So get some spray paints and just hit it and maybe try and make just a basic cloth battle mat out of that. So that's a potential to do as well. Yeah, I'm going to do a load of trees. Looking to make about 50 trees or so. And then, yeah, I'm going to buy a river, like a river mat, which looks quite nice. So, yeah, it's all going on, but it's going to be... Right, I'll read what you're actually saying, because I skipped past that. Right, cheers, mate. Their powder pots across their chests are called apostles. Did I say it right? I think I said there 12 12 apostles. Oh, that's a cute name. Oh, hey, Richard. Yeah, I mean those little things look really cool. Those powder pots. I don't know why I'm fixated on them. I don't know, but they just look cool. But yeah, water roses are pretty quick to paint, but I managed to burn myself out doing. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many have you done of them? Because I don't know. I do burn myself out, but like I'm batch painting all these, for instance. So there's 68 of them because I bought an extra sprue and I just batch painted them. So yeah, it's been a slog, but I think just because I've always done this with armies of just batch paint loads of miniatures, then I kind of, I don't know, necessarily burn myself out. But I think next month's going to be nice because the problem is I make a big dent in my plastic pile, my grey primed plastic pile, and then halfway through painting a big project, I'll just buy some more. So it's like you can see here, I started my Republican Roman cavalry, and then when I picked up this Italian Allied box set, so I've got 16 of this cav to paint up as well. So that's going to be which I don't think they're going to be that. I've probably broken the back on them really. I've done a fair bit of them. So yeah, I'll probably maybe get these done. Maybe go into the cav or just take a month out. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some games done. It's just our local games club was only letting in pairs, and obviously me and my mates, there's three of us, so we want to. And I kind of said to myself, "Oh, it's all right, boys. I'd rather not go there and kind of only play with one of you. I'd rather play with all you." So we're just kind of sitting waiting till we can either get down there for a game, or set up a table ourselves. And a mate of mine's just bought a flat, so he's looking at putting a table in, gaming table. So yeah, I think we're all going to communally chip in on some terrain. My phone's going off, right? But yeah. What's going on? My phone is going ballistic on Discord. I don't know whether it's just like cut out of the internet and cut back in and now loaded up loads of chat. I don't know. I've done a fair few now, about 9 units and 2 cannon, 1 command. I started doing a unit of cav, but hit a wall. Half built, then moved on to Lord of the Rings, and then brought more ECW muskets. How many men have you got in a unit then? Because that's the problem. I'm guessing you play Hail Caesar with them. I don't know. So, funny enough, I've actually bought Hail Caesar rulebook because I thought, oh, brilliant, I can use them for my Romans. But I didn't realise they don't come with army lists. So I was skimming through the book, and then I was just like, how do I build an army? I just want to see kind of what I can build with my Republican Romans. So yeah, now I'm going to have to splash out, and I'll probably pick the PDF up of the battle army lists. It's a bit frustrating that now I've got to do that. I bought the book cheap on eBay. I say cheap, it wasn't that cheap, but 12 men to... okay, so yeah, that's big old units. 12 men to... yeah, that is. Fair enough. You've painted a lot. I mean, I'm going to have, at this rate, how many have I got? I got 5, 4, so that's 9. Another 2. 9. So 11 plus another, so 14 plus... I've got 22 units of 8 in my Republican Roman army, plus 12 cav, plus my 16 cav that I haven't finished. Actually, oh no, that's my infantry, plus 4 units of 8 of velites as well. So, yeah. I think the trick is just keep the paint, well, for me anyway, and I'm happy to do it, but keep the paint scheme more or less pretty simple. Like I think with the cloth and stuff, I layer it. I do a base, wash, and layer. The flesh, I just do a base and wash. I don't layer the flesh back up because I think it looks good enough. But it's just those little things that one doesn't kill me doing because it's brain numbing, and two, it speeds everything up. What's going on here? Okay. Is Richard still in the chat? I know he popped in, but if you are Richard, how are you? Are you having a good weekend? Miller's the only thing that annoyed me with them from Victory, so you get so many validates. Yeah, so you are 100% right. What I've done, which I don't know if I showed it off, but so my Italian Roman Legion is exactly the same box set as the. Why is it not zooming in? Okay, so what I've done is built up all the velites as Hastati, so they're just unarmored. Because yeah, again, I didn't want another like 4-man unit of velites. So, like in my Republican Roman box set, I did I used the velites bodies to build the musicians, so they weren't armored musicians. So I kind of kept extra models for putting into just general fighty units. But yeah, in this box set, I've turned the velites into just unarmored infantry, and you can kind of get away with it really. So there's a really good channel called Carthage Must Be Destroyed, I think, something like that. Destroy Carthage. I don't know. Dustin, who runs the channel, and like he's the reason why I got into Republican Romans. I saw some videos on. He does a big big video doing the Hell Caesar whole the way through Hell Caesar playthrough. So how to play Hell Caesar and stuff. And he's just got some really nice painted Republican Romans, and he did the same. He used unarmored guys as just standard infantry, and I saw that and I was thinking, oh shit, yeah, I can do that. So when I bought this Italian Legion box set, I thought to myself, I don't want any more velites, so I'm just going to put these all into unarmored Hastati. I did loads, and now I need to buy another couple of boxes to do my try. I don't want to have to paint more velites. Yeah. Mind blown that I could do that. Need some more Hastati as well. Sorry, Catswell, save my life. Don't worry. I'm horrendous at spelling, so because I have to read my own spelling, I can read yours comfortably. Yeah. So the Triarii. So I've done 2 units of Triarii in this box set because you kind of get, I don't know, just a bit of a different mix up. I did 2 units of Hastati in my other box set. Yeah, I think I was thinking in my head like the actual composition of Roman armies, how you don't have a lot of Triarii. So yeah, you can get away with not having as much. So I'll have 4 units of Triarii command. Yeah. Also, another option is just pick up so what I did, I just picked up another sprue on eBay and stuff rather than picking up box sets. You just pick up sprues. Really. Yeah, it's a way of kind of fleshing stuff out. You're planning on doing a pike and shot? Yeah, okay. I haven't really looked at pike and shot rules, to be honest. I've looked at Hail Caesar, and I've seen battle reports of Black Powder. So I almost bought a Black Powder rule set, but I think the problem with Warlord is you buy the rule book, but then you got to buy the supplement books, which isn't an issue, but it's just a bit frustrating when you. It's almost like GW, where you spend your 30 quid, 40 quid on a rule book, and then you got to go buy a faction rule book, and you know. I know it's a bit better value than GW, but still, it's. I was a bit miffed about Hail Caesar. I bought Hail Caesar rulebook and there's no army list in there. I don't know how you'd play a game with just that rulebook. This brush I bought from like the range. Is that what you're on about, or is this just a cheap knockoff of what you got? I mean, I don't look after my brushes at all, so I can't really comment. I don't care for them. I mistreat them. So I normally buy a cheap set of brushes, trash them, and then throw them away and get another set. But yeah, they do. The tips aren't very good. But again, I don't know if that's just because I don't look after them or what. I'll wash them out and that's it. I don't like I've burnt through a brush doing all these dudes. I find they split, to be honest. I find they split, so like that. See, that's just kind of. But that, again, that's probably me not looking after it. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, yeah. I mean, saying that, I've got one here which is kind of hooked over. One of these brushes from a while back that's hooked over. So yeah, I guess. But yeah, I can't really comment because I don't really look after brushes. I run them ragged and throw them away. I bought like a. It's not an expensive brush, but to me, I guess it is. I paid like £5 for it, 6, 7 quid for it, and it just didn't really last that long. But I guess again, I don't really look after them, so I was just a bit like, oh, okay, I'm not going to do this again. So I just have a big pot of like old shagged out brushes, which then I'll use for like basing or whatever. When I need the fine tip, I'll probably just go pick up another box. So I've got like 3 or 4 brushes up there which are untouched yet, and they've got a nice fine tip on them. But yeah, it won't last that long. But then again, I'm not doing super over complicated stuff, so I don't need such a fine tip really. It's just when I'm doing layering. If I do the tunics, I need a good enough brush. So yeah. So yeah, that's one of my like unarmored. Oh. Yeah, if you get the unarmored guys, it kind of adds it adds like, what was it, 16? Yeah, 16 dudes to your army. Combination of cheap brushes and letting paint get into where the brushes meet the handle. Yeah, I think you're right. Me here. I think you're right. Yeah, it's definitely that build up at the base of the brush, like where the bristles go into the thing. But I don't know what I can do with that. Is that just maybe I don't clean the brushes well enough, or I let paint sit on them for too long, and then I don't know. Again, yeah, I don't really mind that much because I'll just go buy another set of brushes. I think like in the range, they're like a pack of 5 brushes or 6 brushes are like £7. So yeah, it's always nice buying new stuff. So an excuse just to buy more miniatures, brushes, equipment. Oh, Richard, yeah. So yeah, still here, but slightly behind and watching at double speed. Also watching whilst doing housework, so probably won't be here. Oh, that's right, Richard. Cheers for watching anyway, mate. I appreciate it. Um, HYW. I'm going to be stupid and say, what do you mean by that? 100 Years War? I'm gonna say that. 100 Years War, right, okay. So 100 Years War is an awkward, because is 100 Years War like just before War of Roses? Because I know like you have stuff labelled as like 100 Years War, but like could you get away with using that in War of Roses? Because I can't imagine technology changes a hell of a lot. Or is it more 100 Years War is I don't know, maybe angled to more French style plate and stuff like that. I don't know. I could be just talking about stuff I don't really know, like I often do. If you're looking at getting some more Roman miniatures at the minute, I would recommend this Italian Legion box set because, like, I bought it because I really like the poses and I really like the armor, and it just changes it up a bit. But on a more like um, historical point of view, so I'm looking at the Battle of Trebia, and I'm fairly sure Rome went into it with 44,000 troops, or maybe 22,000 troops. I can't remember, but it was like almost split down the middle of Roman Legion and Italian Allied Legion. So I bought this box set just because I liked it. But then I'm like, actually, if I want to do Battle of Trebia historically, I'm going to be able to do that now because I'm going to have a load of Italian Allied Legion. So yeah, kind of do a nice split. And actually, I know it won't really affect the game mechanically wise, but just from appearance, it will. some late Hundred Years' War wouldn't look out of place with Water Roses. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, I don't know. Just because I see the box sets like Perry's and stuff. Do Perry's do both? I always wondered, and it was only fairly recently when I was looking to Water Roses that I realised how close they were to Hundred Years' War. So yeah. So my mates are trying to convince me to get Persians as well, the new Victrix Persians that are coming out, because we've all got Greek armies and stuff, and they don't have much love for Rome. They like all the Greek stuff. So, although yeah, they've just splashed out into Carthage and stuff. So I need to do some. I did look at some of the Claymore miniatures for my Water Roses stuff, but they are a little bit early. Yeah, I think it Don that's just done a video on the Claymore stuff. Was that Hundred Years' War stuff he just showed off? They look quite cool. I guess the problem is it's just metal miniatures. So I personally haven't had nice experiences with metal miniatures. Well, not recently, but like when I first started doing it, I just found maybe I didn't prime them well enough or what, but the paint was literally just peeling off. I'd like rough little scrape and it'd peel off, and I was like, "You want to start a Macedonian army? Oh, nice, Philippa Macedon." Um, yeah, I was looking. I think we were looking at So me and my mates were looking at maybe doing Macedonian, but I personally don't like the. Is it Warlord? No, Victrix. What are they called? Like Pike Block. I completely drawn a blank. I don't know. Oh, Discord's going bananas again. My phone is just vibrating like mad. Let's go bananas. You say, Richard saying one has a kite shield. Oh, sorry, I didn't read your. Um, I've just got a mismatch of figs picked up. Shows about 25 years ago, so they actually technically already span around 200 years. But I'm saying, so. I mean, yeah, I guess like mercenary. Well, I don't know. Like, I imagine if you've got those wars fairly close together, then you are going to have a slight crossover and stuff. So yeah, I would say why not. But again, you kind of got the. I don't know. You could if you had some old-fashioned armor and you had the liveries of, I don't know, you could disguise it with more Water Roses stuff if you literally just painted liveries on there and was like, yeah, that no, he's nice. Like, unless you're gonna get up there and rivet count, you're probably not gonna be noticing it. Maybe I say that like I know, I don't know, but you kind of look at, I don't know, evolutions on, say like World War One or the American Civil War. You look like early war, and then late war, how things change and stuff. So when the which I thought was quite cool. You kind of see it in what's the film called? Gods and Generals, the ACW film. Like they're mustering a Southern army to fight for the Union to kind of bosh the uh, the South Rebellion, and this unit is led by Stonewall Jackson. Obviously, they end up turning to the southern side, but you have like all the state militia turn up, and they're like almost in their like colonial like tricorn stuff. It looked really cool. I was just like, oh shit. You know, that was like American Civil. That was like, yeah, Civil War, American Civil War, but they're like wearing almost War of Independence stuff. I don't know whether that was just some flair for the film or it was accurate, but I thought it looked really cool. And it kind of shows that, yeah, like if they were suddenly going to muster up a military, like a militia force, they might just go raid the warehouse and find a load of ancient uniforms and they'll just chuck them on. I don't know. So yeah, he kind of got that crossover, I guess. Um, I don't know how Warlords one size up to Victress. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like Warlord at all for their ancients. I don't. Well, I don't know. Their plastic kits just don't. I don't like their plastic Republican Romans, or Caesarian, should I say. I don't like their plastic Imperial Romans. I mean, some of their metal figures look alright, but saying that, I bought. Oh, where's he gone? Gone, is he? Marcus Aurelius mounted. Oh, he's there. So I bought Marcus Aurelius mounted. Which, oh yeah, that's really cool. And on the website looks really cool, but I mean, you compare him to a Victrix guy. He's an absolute dwarf, and it's just crazy. Yeah, it's a shame, really. It kind of put me off buying stuff because I wanted to buy some character models from Warlord to flesh out my Republican Roman army. But yeah, it's just a size. I just don't know why their size isn't so off. Which is fine if you're only collecting Warlord, but if you're trying to do a mix of different companies, it's like your ECW video when you were comparing other companies. Like, yeah, you can kind of get away with picking some from First Corps and maybe some from Perry's. Maybe Bicorn as well. I know Bicorn was quite chunky, wasn't it? But I think Bicorn normally is chunky. But anyway, yeah, you can kind of get away with it. And if you can get away with it, it just adds more variety to your army rather than having, like, if there's a metal sculpt of a musketeer, but you only have 5 sculpts, but you want 20 of them. Like, there's only so far you can paint the same sculpt a slightly different way just to change it up. So it's nice going to a different company, especially with metal when you don't have that variation. Oh, that was true. Some units were making a point that it was Second Revolution. Oh, okay, nice. Cheers, me here. Thanks for Alright. Wargamers Anonymous. Alright. I don't know if I went slightly raster with that, but it was meant to be your alright. Okay, so yeah, that was a cool thing. Yeah, I like that part of the film. I thought it was just that little kind of, maybe they didn't really need to include it in the film, but they felt like it was important too. And I don't know, just cool marching around in some. I mean, technically, like you could say it was a second Revolutionary War, really. That's why I find it funny. Like you got the South going, now we're not happy, we're gonna bugger off, and then the North like, no, you're not. And you're like, well, you're doing exactly what the British did to you. Yet the British were the super bad guys, and yet, yeah. Obviously, there's more to it, and I won't go into it. I always go down the rabbit hole of the American Civil War. Cheers for coming, Phil. You get to watch me paint brown bases. What's happening? I am painting bases for my Wargamers Anonymous challenge. Once these guys are based brown, I'm going to stick tufts on them, and then they're done, and then I'm moving on to doing their shields. I'll show you the shields. I'll show you what shields I got done at the moment. So I've started on the shield transfers whilst I was waiting for some of this sand to dry the other night. So I'll show you that one. Are these upside down? These upside down. So yeah, I've got these shields here for a first 8-man unit of Hastati. So these are little big men. And then this is for, I've started doing these shields for a second unit of Hastati. Yeah. And then I've got, how many more have I got? 16, 32, what comes after 32? 48. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. 48 more transfers to do on the infantry. Yeah, I don't think I'll get any more of the plastics for ECW. I just want to try different metal companies now. I want to get some metal cav. Yeah, I mean, metal definitely has a character to it, I must admit. I was looking at the ECW plastic kit from, is it Warlord? But after seeing your video, I was like, actually, I don't know, they do seem a bit off. So, Phil's been basing, nice. You've been basing as well. Yeah, I did. I just powered through, got a sand done last night, so it meant I can come and paint the bases today. Yeah, the shields are really nice to do because they look really cool, but it's a pain in the ass cutting them out. Like, I don't know if you've done these shields. I'm guessing you have because you've said how much of a commitment they are. But you kind of see there. You actually cut them in half and then have to cut out the fiddly bit in the middle, and then yeah, it's time consuming. And I do it all with a pair of like sewing scissors like that. So it really hurts to do. For some reason I use these. I think it's just because they can get in the little corners. But yeah, it's a commitment. But the only payoff I personally think they look really nice. So it kind of spurs me on to getting them done. And I'm at the finish line almost. I can see the finish line with these guys, so that's kind of spurring me on. That's why I just want to get the actual miniatures done, and then I can just chill out doing the shields. I won't be in a rush to do the shields then. I can just be like, right, all I've got left to do is shields. Yeah, the shields are a complete pain in the ass, but I just think they look amazing. So that's what keeps me going. That is what keeps me going. And I was saying to Millers earlier, like I tend to do a bit more of a basic paint job on these because I do so many. So I think the shields just slightly take away from that more simple paint job. Because I think if I were to hand paint the shields just like a plain colour, then you'd be a bit okay. I think still ranked up it would look nice because I personally think with the ranked up units and stuff, you're not really looking at individual miniatures. You're kind of looking at the whole. Um, yeah. And then I've got to get some more Sabbath bases. So I've only got 4 of these when I need 8. So I've gone to put an order in, but the chap I'm getting my stuff off, Charlie Foxtrot, he's currently doing a Kickstarter. So I don't know if you've heard of it. But he's doing a really nice windmill Kickstarter, so it's definitely worth checking out if you're interested. It's like kind of, I'd say, Spanish Napoleonics windmill. It looks really nice. But he's focused on doing that now, so I'm pretty sure it's fully pledged already. So I've seen pictures and stuff. You go on his Facebook, he's got it all on there. So, but I buy my stuff off him basically. Let's get back to what I was on about. I get my stuff off him, and I normally ping him an email, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I'm working on my Kickstarter, so it's going to be at least a week before I can start your order." And then I was like, "Ah, that's all right. I'm not in a rush, but it would be nice just to." I bought 3 boxes of the Ancient Spanish, but I won't buy the shield transfer. There's too much hassle. Yeah, yeah. I think it is. It is, but I don't know. I just kind of think in my head like the shield transfer, but also with these guys here, I'm adding them to an existing army which have shield transfers. So I kind of need to keep with that theme really. So yeah, that's why I've gone with shield transfers. Also, I really like shield transfers. Do you just do one colour on the base tufts and then grass cover? Pretty much, yeah. I bought some base ready stuff because I want to use the base. I've seen people using Luke's ABS base ready, and it looks really cool. So I bought some. I bought some for my Greeks, and I think it looked really good. And then I bought another pack, and I used it for my Romans. Miller's witnessed it because I was doing it on a stream, and I personally thought it just looked crap. And I was like, I've seen other people use it, and they got it looking really nice. So, but again, I'm going with the paint scheme, like the base scheme of my current army. So, yeah, I brown. What I used to do is do this brown. I do a Agrax wash and then dry brush, and then put tufts down. Um, but I think with this army, it was literally put brown down, maybe do a wash, and then just tufts. Again, I chose tufts probably a bit too big, but I'm kind of committed to using them now. So. It's like a mixture of can't be asked and yeah, it looks alright. So again, just trying to keep it fairly simple because I kind of knew I always wanted to do big army with these guys, so it's kind of thinking I don't need to overcomplicate it. I mix up. Sometimes I'll do a darker brown, then dry brush, a light brown, then beige on top. Yeah, I used to do light brown on rims. I did it with my Lord of the Rings stuff. Yeah, it's kind of yeah. I think just putting brown down and tufts. I think it looks okay, so that's why I haven't really gone much further. I don't feel like I need to. Um, yeah. Like originally when I started these guys, I started them on square bases, 3 mil square bases, which looked horrendous, and I regretted straight away. But I was painting them up as a bit more of like I don't know a Mediterranean style, so a lot lighter earth and um. Yeah, I didn't really get on with them and ended up scrapping that basing idea and then changed it to my current basing idea. When you get the bases, do you use filler to level the plastic? I don't use filler now, but again, pure laziness. But I think I normally load up PVA, put sand on, and then I don't know. I find when I put by the time I put the tufts on and stuff, you don't really see that ridge. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just I could easily put filler on, and it would be as good. Yeah, or better. Sorry. Again, I just don't feel like I need to. I'm sure people out there are probably thinking, yeah, you definitely do. But again, like I put them in sabot bases and stuff, so you're kind of drawn away from. I don't know. You're drawn away from the bases, really. I don't know. I don't know. How many times have I done that? Yeah, I mean, I with the metal ones, you probably want to block it out. I don't know if you kind of see here, like on Victrix one here, that it's not a hell of a lip, really. So I think you can get away with it. And then look at this guy. Like I don't know, you can see the lip there, but it's pretty. By the time I use big tufts as well, and I think if you were using basing material from like Luke's APS or something, or Geek Gaming, should I say, you'd probably hide it even better as well. I don't know. I just kind of stuck to. I have got a basic base scheme which I'm confident and happy doing, so I just stick to it because it's just easy. The one time I tried to branch out from it, it failed miserably, so I'll just stick to what I know. Me here saying tiling grout. Yeah, I've heard people using tiling grout. So when I first did the Romans, I put them on square bases, and I did do filler. I did put filler on there. Um, but the problem with square bases, especially with these guys, I used 20 mil square bases because I was thinking of doing it for Hail Caesar. Like these guys have got to be in a certain position. By the time they've got a shield on them, they've got to be in a certain position. Otherwise, their peeling and stuff are hitting into the person behind them. Especially as soon as you get a guy like this with his peeling raised up, so it means the square you kind of got to glue them bang in the middle of the square so you can rank them up. But I found if I put them on pennies, I can rotate them in their sabot tray to kind of slot them into each other, so they're not. Because yeah, I did it up in squares, and I found like I had to glue them all together on the squares. So I put all the squares together in the block of 8 or whatever, and then glue them on to make sure they fit. And then it kind of meant that they fit together there, but they probably wouldn't slot together with another different 8 or something like that. If If that makes sense, or am I confusing things? So, and then I can't think. I think it's my local games club. The chap who owns it, who's like, mate, pennies. Put everything on pennies. And I was like, okay then. And then I started looking at it. I was like, yeah, this is a lot easier. And also, pennies are probably the cheapest way to get bases. So yeah, that's why I do everything on basis, on pennies, penny basis. I've done some stuff on. I think it's more my rank and file stuff I'll do on pennies. If I go bigger, or if I do skirmish stuff, I won't do pennies. Like I built a Norman army for Saga, and I put, admittedly it was all cavalry, but I did have archers in there, and I put them on pennies, but I don't have them in bases, and it does look a bit odd. So yeah, flag. So yeah, that's similar to what I was saying, like with the spears, with having the flags. But I guess you guys multi-base, don't you? Is that right? I know some of you do. If you're multi-basing your flag unit base, you can obviously do it how you want. And I think multi-basing is an exception because multi-basing obviously you just. But then saying that, I can't remember who it was. I'm gonna have to think now. Someone's doing Napoleonics. I want to say it was like Leon or something like that. Oh, I don't know now. And he was saying how awkward it was ranking them up because one of his dudes, if you think of like you got a 40 by 40 and you got 4 dudes on there, you kind of want all their hangover inside the base so you can rank them up comfortably without having like hangover outside the base and then having to worry about what base you put them next to because then they won't line up. Oh, hey, medieval warrior. Lots of work. Yeah, yeah. This is my Italian Allied Legion for my Pokemon Romans. This is my Wargamers Anonymous challenge for this month. Um, I'm just getting the basin done. Once the basin's done, so I'm just putting this brown down. I'll tuft it later on once this paint's dry, and then I just got to do some shields. So yeah, the end is near. And then I was saying in Millers earlier, I'm going to hopefully spend. So yeah, if we want to, if Phil and Millers, if you're up for doing terrain next month, I'd extremely appreciate it, and we'll just sway the votes to terrain next month because I'm gonna hopefully spend next month just doing terrain and getting a gaming table built up. Yeah, I'll probably just take a month away from paint. Oh well, I don't know. I probably won't take a month away from painting because I got my Roman cav up here. I've got to do. I might just take a step away from painting for a bit, especially after doing these guys. I think I got the bulk of painting them done in like 1 week. And I've kind of stepped away from doing a lot of stuff from them in the last week or so, just because I've been doing other stuff. Mm-mm. Was it 11:30? Bloody hell. I don't think I'd have enough brown paint, but it's looking like I do, which is good. I just use this. I know a lot of people use house paint, but I use this stuff. It's really cheap, and it was near enough what I used to base my stuff with. I used to base it with Citadel paints, believe it or not, which is a really expensive way of doing it. So I ended up, yeah, ended up picking this stuff up because it was really cheap, and I really like it. It's quite watered down to start with, so I don't feel like you've got to add much water to it. I mean, I find if you do add a lot of water to it, you mess it up. go very watered down quite quick. Yeah, it'd be interesting. What do you guys use for your basing paints? Do you just go full proper paints, or do you? I should probably just go house paints. I know, like I want to say like Mel the train tutor. I think when he's doing ground and stuff, uh he'll use like house paints. It's probably a lot cheaper way of doing it. Nick, what are you saying? Tired, too much work. I'm waiting for December to go. Anyone watching the rugby later? I don't know if anyone keen rugby fans. England on. I'm looking forward to it around 3 o'clock. I'm hoping to paint until the baby wakes up. I'm going to take her out for a walk as she's just decided last night to really take her first proper steps. So now we're going to try make the most of it. And also, she's starting to get quite full of beans, so it's kind of we got to tire her out. And it's all good taking her out in the morning, but obviously at the moment we just can't keep taking her out because of lockdown and stuff. So it's kind of try take her out in the afternoon and just tire her out. Like yesterday, I took her out, and she's probably walked the most I've seen. Well, she'll walk with you holding her hands, but she won't walk on her own. I think it's just confidence. She can do it. She's like 19 months now, but so I was out walking with her hand, and she walked so much, and then uh, I came home last night, and then come like 7 o'clock, she just decided she'll scoot across the sofas and stuff, and then just decided she could let go and walk without. So she's been loving it. So right, let's catch up. I still have old miniatures paints from back when I was a kid. Got them all back out 2 years ago. Got back into the hobby. I only had one dried out. Oh, well, nice. I was a bit like that when I started my Lord of the Rings stuff back up again. When I first kind of started back into hobby, I had like loads of old paints, but I mean that's the pain in the ass of it is buying paints. Like I'm not going to turn my actually I'll try to do it. I'll kind of look back there like all my paints. That's the expensive bit. Like when I was first starting back up again, it was like, oh, I want to do this project. Ah, I don't have any paints for it. Okay, right, let's go buy some paints. Oh, I want to do this now. Oh, I ain't got the paints. And like, it's a bit like talking about the shield transfers with paying as much money on shield transfers as I do miniatures. Like, basically do that with paints as well. But I think when you get to a point where you own a lot of paint, then you're only really replacing a pot every now and then. On Amazon, yeah, Autumn Cup. So yeah, is it Georgia? Is it Georgia we've got? No. Who have we got? Yeah, it is Georgia, isn't it? So are you do you support club rugby as well, Richard? If so, who do you support? Millers, yeah, same here. Working loads, so tidy. Fell asleep with a brush in your hand last night. Oh dear. I occasionally. Well, I used to play computer quite a lot, but I haven't really been recently. But group of mine, and we've just kind of got into playing a game now. So they're like, "Oh, we'll do it," on certain nights now, and it's just cutting into my like hobby time. I'm like, rather be hobbying. Weekends are always good. I had a day off yesterday as well, so it kind of meant I could do some hobbying. Because when the baby's asleep, I can do some painting. I'll come up in my games room, do some painting. Otherwise, I got to wait for her to go back to sleep because I don't do anything when she's awake. I don't know. Does any of you get that sort of feeling when So I get it with painting. So when you first start painting, I always prime my miniatures grey, but I guess this rule applies for anyone with whatever colour primer you're doing. But like as you're doing your base layers and stuff, just to slowly see that grey primer disappear, it's really satisfying. And I always find like I always do my flesh last, and then once I do that flesh base, and I'm like, like I run out of grey. But then the last little bit is the base, and it's just nice to kind of look over now and just see them all lined up without any grey on them. That was a slight problem when I did my American Civil War. I used the grey primer as a base for the grey uniform, and it was so it was hard to kind of see that grey disappear when you're using the grey as one of the main colours in your army. But no, it's a nice satisfying feeling when you it just, especially on like a big project like this. I think to slowly see all that grey disappear as you've painted them. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Don't have much time to watch club rugby, even though I bought BT Sport specifically for that. But grew up supporting Leicester Tigers, but did a stint playing at Falcons Academy for a soft. Oh, nice. I mean, yeah, Leicester. I think a lot of people have a soft spot for Leicester as well. Now it'd be nice to see Falcons come back up, Newcastle come back up. Is it Newcastle coming back up though? I don't know, because I think Trailfinders have been playing really well in the Championship, Ealing. So we'll see. I support Bristol, as I'm from Bristol. I got a soft spot for Bristol. Good old Briz. Still not 100% convinced on their name change, but just got to get on with it. Yeah. Millers, yeah, I know. A good feeling. Yeah, it is nice. I don't know. I know it's quite far away, so you can't really see them up close, but yeah, it's a nice feeling. And then if I get the tufts done, and then it's just shields. You're probably hearing my computer beep every time I get a Discord notification. That's probably really annoying. There it is again. Right, what do you say? Sucks when you batch paint and say paint all the brown on the figure and go to paint the colour after that and realise you missed. I've done it so many times. But it's like really obvious stuff as well. I just don't get how I did. Yeah, so going on to the brown, do you know what? I won't show you because you can't see it. But I was painting the sandals. I was painting all the sandals, painted all the sandals, and then went back to wash them. And I'm getting there, I'm like, one sandal isn't painted on this miniature. Like I did one of them, but just didn't do the other. I was like, how did I do it? Why did they change their name Bristol? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a rebranding. Supposedly, I don't know if it was just rumors, but supposedly they're trying to kind of commercialize it a bit, I guess. Like you compare it to like American football, where it's they've all got their names and they sell the stuff. So supposedly like a rebrand, just I guess to make money. Which I don't dislike the name, but I think something like Bristol Rugby is what they were called, and it's a bit like Gloucester Rugby. I know they call themselves the Cherry and Whites, but that's because they're colours. But yeah, I mean, I think that's how that Gloucester Rugby or Bristol Rugby was just I don't know, just quite classy. Um, but hey, I mean they used to be called the Bristol Shoguns, so it's not like they were always called Bristol Rugby. They have changed their name in the past. But hey, can't complain. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to next season. Really, I'm looking forward to see how Saris do in the championship. Are they just going to completely carve it up and make a mess of things? Probably. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I've had that the same last night. I went to paint the grass on your Urukai. realised I missed the leather gloves on like two figures, which meant I'd also missed the metal gauntlets on them as well. The flesh, yeah. Yeah, it's just frustrating because then like I got to put them to one side and then be like, I don't know whether it's again because I batch paint and I just try knock through it, but like every now and then I'll be doing something and I'll look and I've just clipped like the tunic with the brown where I was painting something else. And I'm like, oh, so now I got to put that to one side and go back and touch it up. I think that's more just me being a messy painter, but little things like that, you're like, oh. I think again, I'm aiming for these to be rank and file, so I'm like anything a bit like I'll leave it. The only annoying thing, like on my Republican Romans, I painted all their feather plumes. I didn't. I just based them and washed them, which at the time I thought was fine. But then when I did these guys, I washed, so based, washed, and dry brushed, which I think looked really good. And then didn't realise I didn't do that on my Republican Romans, so I had to get all of my Republican Romans out yesterday and sit there and dry brush all their plumes so they match. Interesting to see how I play. I don't know about you. I don't know about yeah. Well, like I think I definitely noticed Bristol Rugby. Like yeah, I think they suffered from COVID. Like fitness wise, you could just tell some of their players were just like running in a treat, like running in syrup in some of the games, and you thought, yeah, that's not good. I think that's maybe why Wasps did so well after COVID. Like Wasps went from like losing quite a lot of games, bottom of the table, to suddenly becoming second in the league because I think they maybe just had a really good setup during lockdown. You know, I think they really handled lockdown and they just came back and they were fired up, ready to go. Where a lot of teams were a bit like, oh, we're not in a good place at the moment. So, do you even use a technique where if you quick enough, you can get the mistaken bit of the paint off? Yeah. So, kind of. I either do it or I don't do it and just give up. So underneath, so if I'm painting the legs underneath the tunics, sometimes I'll catch the underneath of the tunic with the flesh colour. So I've got to quickly get a paintbrush and scrape out the paint. Or I think you're not going to look under their tunics, so I'll leave it. I know that's again pretty lazy of me, but so like with the brown. Yeah, I mean, I didn't notice it, so I didn't get it off the tunic. But I just went back over. I just went back, especially it was layered up anyway, so I just hit it with the same colour I used for the layer. It didn't like it was like on a flat piece. It wasn't messing up a crease or anything like that. So yeah, it was easily repaired. We're getting there. 5 more dudes. I had to go out yesterday um, for an essential shop of going to the range and buying some extra storage boxes for my miniatures. Because yeah, these won't fit in any of my boxes now. I've used up all my space. I don't know if any of you. Um, yeah, you won't see the underneath. Do you paint the underside to tanks? Are you doing? I did. I did paint the underside of tanks. But I mean, when I mean I painted, I kind of I based and dry brushed. So you can't really see it, but I use these boxes to chuck all my dudes in now. They're like 5 litre. I think they're called like very useful boxes or something like that. So yeah, I got them. And they're like £5 each. The idea is to magnetise the bottom of the boxes, so all my dudes on pennies will stick to the box. But now I'm putting them all. I kind of sit them. Originally, I wasn't going to buy Sabbath bases. I was going to use universal Sabbath bases. Hey, Paul, how are you? All right? Paul's paint sheds here. Yeah, I was going to use universal Sabbath bases and kind of swap them between armies, but I kind of just decided because I can get the Sabbath bases. I emailed Charlie Foxtrot because the way he sells his Sabbath bases, they're not a bad price at all, but the way he sells them, they come with an MDF base to them. Whereas so he's got a 2 mil. I'll show you now. So here, where the holes are cut out of this MDF, that's 2 mil, but he does supply a 2 mil base for it as well. So that ended up making it 4 mil Sabbath base, which to me I don't like. I like having the 2 mil, and to be honest, I used to buy Sabbath bases off a different company, and he'd supply cardboard. So what I ended up doing was just using the top part of it and putting cardboard underneath. So I ended up emailing him, just going, "Hey, can I just have the top 2 mil with the bits cut out? Don't worry about the base and don't worry about the inserts, because he'll give you the inserts as well." So he said, "Yeah, I don't mind doing that," and he basically did it at half price. So I bought like 28-man Sabbath bases for like 10 quid. So which I think is good. Right, let's see who's saying. Okay. Oh, hey Martin. Martin's here. Good morning. Good morning. So yeah, I got now I can kind of get cheap per Sabbath bases, which I don't mind paying that sort of money for. I'm just gonna just get Sabbath bases for all the units and then store them in that. So I'll show you what I've done now for my Republican Romans for now. They're all just sat in their Sabbath bases, ready to go. The only thing with the Sabbath base, I think I'm going to have to go back and add a bit more to them, because I've just done them plain brown, but I think I might add tufts to them. Now I'm not making them universal. Oh, sorry to hear about your back, Paul. So yeah, these all my Republican Romans just sitting in their movement trays. I can't really get a good enough shot of it. There we go. Yeah, so now I can sit by enough movement trays. That's how I'm just going to store them. Yeah. Yeah. And then I've got these. And then yeah, I've kind of got some cavalry movement trays as well. This is really awkward doing it unless you can't really see, but yeah. Yep. Hang on, Martin, you only said alright, Phil, not alright, Phil. Alright. Sorry to correct you, not one to correct people's pronunciations, but thousands of them. Yeah. I think it's common etiquette if you're going to do an ancient army or whatever, just keep going, just keep buying them until you can't fit them in your house. So that's my mentality on it. It's just keep buying Republican Romans until I can't buy any more Republican Romans. Saying that, I haven't got that many. I got the box set of the chainmail dudes, box set of the pectoral armor dudes, and then this Italian Legion. Also, going back to Charlie Foxtrot, who I get my bases off, he's done some really nice. It's called, I think it's Pentile, whatever. Walls and stuff, and I think it's like Napoleonic Spanish kind of walls. It's kind of a whitewashed wall with kind of your orange tiles to it. Like to me, it looks like quite Roman as well. So he does kits of that, which is really nice. So I want to try buy some of them. So I feel I can make like an alright pet. I feel like I could. Oh no, what's happening? Make a smallish settlement with that. So for my ancient battles, I might do it. So right, that's the base is done. I'll show anyone who hasn't seen the shields again. So yeah, this is some of my shields for my Romans, my Italian legion. Um, so yeah, I started doing these up last night. I was up till midnight doing them because they take ages. So yeah, I'll get around to doing some more. I've got enough left to do. Yeah, but yeah, it's just fiddly. These shields are fiddly. So I've got 3 more left to do with that 8. I think yeah, it's kind of once they're done, they're done. Oh yeah, I got them, and I've still got some Republican Romans. They're not all fully boxed up yet. My Republican Romans. I got my Velites and my Commanders off down there. So and then it begins the shield transfer. Again, haven't started them yet. I was just saying to Matt I fell asleep when I brushed my hands. I always really liked the scout, Urukai scouts. I don't know what you guys' preferences were, but I was, as a kid, I had the armored Urukai, and I was just really wanting to get scout dudes. They just look really cool. Martin probably knows this pain with his Carthaginians doing these shield transfers. It was nice going to like my Greeks when they were just like round shields. You could just cut a circle and then stick them on. I, I'm just not going to rush doing these shields because I think I trucked on when I did the Republican Roman infantry shields. I just kind of sat down and just tried to do them all at once, and it was soul destroying, and it really hurt my hands. Because if you can see, I've got my these tiny stupid little scissors, and they really hurt after a while. Working on a World War Two commission, and gonna have to go some samurai. Nice. Confederation Napoleonics. Nice. A nice variety. I won't say too much about Napoleonics because we've got a few Napoleonic lovers in here, but I'm not a massive fan. That's all I'll say on it. I am. I like it. Just I don't know. I can't get into it. There's so much content on Napoleonics as well. It's frustrating really because I don't really like watching too many Napoleonic videos if people do them. Like I'll watch battle reports and stuff. I don't mind doing that. Obviously, there's a lot of people love the kind of units and stuff, and I feel bad because I'm like I don't really want to watch a Napoleonic video, but I like trying to watch everyone's videos. So yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't really grip me, Napoleonics. Don't know why. Should have put a timer on for when I start these shields and just see how many shields I can get done in a certain amount of time, because it feels like it's a long time. The only good thing with these shields, because they're like transparent in a way, you don't have to be, I don't know, I feel like you don't have to be super neat with them. Oh, bollocks. Done my shield upside down. Don't do that. As believe it or not, I think these shields are slightly, they are handed, they do go up or down. There is a top and there is a bottom. I don't think it overly matters really, but nice to get it roughly right. Anyone else managed to persuade their partners to have a game with them? Notice Martin has given his missus a couple of glasses of wine to have a game. What, fill her with wine and then slowly drift her into the gaming room. Oh, can you have a look at something for me, please? Oh no, what's this? We're in the gaming room. Whilst you're at it, pick some dice up. I don't know. I think I was trying to get. I said to my. Funny enough, I said to my missus a couple of days ago. I was like, "Oh, I can teach you to do some painting if you want." So she did try many years ago and just didn't find it fun. But I gave her like a Tau tank from 40k and said, "Oh, do you want to highlight this?" And she was like, "Stopped." Paul, only interested when you sell so. Yeah. I think my missus is pretty relaxed with it, really. Like, I often come home with, I'm like, oh, I've got to go get a paint from a games club. She's like, oh, right, okay. Then I'll come back with about 2 box sets or something. Fair enough to her, she don't bring it up. She'll be like, oh, okay. So I'm looking at, because she could easily go on Earth are you buying? I mean, I say gaming room, Millers. I mean, my back bedroom that I've just put my desk in. The debate is to put a pull-out bed in, or a pull-out bed, or a gaming table. So it's either we have people stay over and be guests, or I have a gaming table. That's the current debate. But I kind of got to act fast because this is going to become my baby's. I say my baby's, my daughter's bedroom when she's a bit older. So I have to make the most of it before I get kicked out, and then I get put in the tiny box room. If Martin's still there, I'd be interested to see how he got on with his shields. What was his tip? Was it just grin and bear it? Wonder which way that would go. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a lot of say in the house because I'm the man, but like my missus is pretty chilled out, so yeah, I think we've been talking about putting a bed in the back bedroom for ages. But then we have like my only argument is we've got quite comfy sofas. So the only person who really comes over and stays is my brother who lives in London, and him and his missus are happy to sleep on my sofa. So it's like, do we need a bed, or can we just get away with not having it? So yeah, obviously, I'll keep you updated if I ever get a gaming table, and if I don't ever get a gaming table, you'll know why. the shield upside down. I swear on the little big man webs or well, instructions on these, it says, oh, you can stick them on the shield, and then you'll have time to reposition them. But I found once they're on the shield, they ain't coming off. You kind of got when you stick them on, you kind of got to be like, all right, that's where I want it. I don't want it moved now. It won't be moved. This is just water in here, by the way. In case anyone's wondering, this is my old little paint pot, and I just put water in now for my shield transfers. In case you're wondering what I'm dabbing on. Yeah, so that shield's upside down. Oh well. Overly gonna matter. I think it speeds it up doing it on the sprue as well, these transfers. The last time I did them on the miniatures, because I had all the shields painted up and stuff on the miniatures first. So I feel having them on the sprue speeds things up. That's the other, done the other 3 shields, huh? 3. And they're gonna look very cool. I kind of cocked up the shields a bit by the white shield. I'll show you here quickly. So I washed the centre. You can't really see. I washed the centre, and so you got kind of a black. I washed it with Nuln, so you kind of got a black line down there, and that actually shows through on the shield transfers. You can see here, the shield like you can't really see the detailing because you got a big black line down the middle. So yeah, it's a bit of a kind of a cock up, but I'm gonna run with it. My son's left home now, and I'm working on trying to nick his old room. More chance of pissing in the Queen's handbag. Yeah, I don't know. Like my missus is odd. I think she just lets me get away with too much. Maybe like I've got a decent sized bedroom in the back end of our house, which I've got my desk in, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I would say I'm lucky, but I'll pay for it one day. I'm sure. Uh, what I'm gonna do, I think, I'm gonna end the stream there. So, because it's an hour and a half, I need to go get some lunch before someone wakes up. And yeah, funny enough, I'm not in the mood to go sit and cut out a load of shield transfers, but maybe tonight. Well, it will be tonight because I got nothing else to do tonight. But I might stream it. If not, I won't. But I'll see you guys whenever. I'll quickly show you this one, my next lot I'm going to work on. So it's going to be for my other Hastati unit. So yeah. I should have kept that back. So what I'm going to do is quickly grab that. Yeah, I'm going to end the stream here. I appreciate everyone popping in and seeing me. I know it was kind of a random stream, but my streams always are, just because it's normally when I have time, I'll slap a stream on. So, but no, I really appreciate people stopping by. Really, it was nice to have a chat with all of you. Yeah, cheers again, Millers, Martin, Phil, Nick, Richard, me too. I don't know your name, sorry, and Paul. So yeah, I appreciate you all popping by. If I missed anyone's name, I apologise. But I'm gonna go get some lunch. So everyone have a good Saturday, probably a good weekend, because I don't think I'll do a live stream again this weekend, so I might not see you for a while. But yeah, all of you have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.